In business, operators in Nigeria's downstream oil sector are urgently seeking intervention from the federal government amid fuel import surge. The call comes as marketers increasingly opt to import cheaper refined petroleum products, bypassing Dangote Petroleum Refinery. They also criticized international oil companies operating in Nigeria, accusing them of selling crude to oil to Dangote Refinery at prices higher than the global market rate. Now, this practice has been described as anti-country by industry stakeholders. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria clarified that the higher cost of diesel and aviation fuel produced by Dangote Refinery is driving marketers away. IPMAN National President Abubakar Maigandi responded to the claims from the Dangote Refinery, which states that it had exported approximately 3.5 billion liters of refined products to Europe and other countries due to some marketers importing substandard fuel into Nigeria. Maigandi also pointed out that Aliko Dangote, president of the Dangote Group, has not collaborated with IPMAN, which he cited as a contributing factor to the challenges facing the $20 billion refinery. And to unpack this, I am joined by Senior Investment Research Analyst, Meristem Securities Limited, Esther Otusanya. Good afternoon. Glad to have you join me.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
The pleasure is all mine. What are the potential, economic consequences for Nigeria if allegations of sabotage by international oil companies against the Dangote refinery are really true?
Well, if the allegations of the sabotage against
Can you hear me?
Dangote, but other modular refineries.
Okay, we lost you for a bit there. If you can share your thoughts again. We lost you for a moment. Just take your thoughts again.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Not just Dangote, but other modular refineries have clamored for clamored about some issues recently about IOCs not supplying crude oil for their operations. So there are a lot of economic forecasts that has been made hinged on the successful operations of Dangote refinery. So if these allegations of sabotage come true, then there's the expectations of more transparent oil and gas sector with healthy competition might not materialize soon. I mean, we also see the impact on FX stability too, because the refined products from Dangote would it means Dangote refinery will continue like import crude, and this will keep pressure on FX marketers as well, sourcing for their products, wanting to rely on importation rather than buying from Dangote. This is just a lot of pressure for FX, which the government is trying to stabilize. Also, the refined products will remain elevated regardless of it being refined locally or not. So, saying the fact that Dangote still has to source for this crude from international markets, so there's still that shipping cost or transportation costs that are factored into final price. So, I mean, there's just a lot of implications if you look at it generally.
Now let's talk about perception now. How do you think investor confidence will be impacted? Looking at the alleged actions of international oil companies affecting investor confidence in Nigeria's downstream oil sector.
Well, generally, these are not interesting things investors would like to hear about a country they are looking to invest. The sentiment around Nigeria's oil and gas sector is just beginning to recover. We've been seeing a lot of divestment from IOCs and all. But if we see this kind of conversation come up regularly, it could deter foreign investment and even impact the overall industry. So we're not just looking at the downstream sector only. We're also looking at investments across the value chain. But really, for the downstream sector, that's majorly the refinery, domestic refining. If there is not a structure put in place to ensure that supply of crude, we won't see investors who are looking to set up similar entities come up to want to do this. So for sentiment, really, this is not something positive.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your sentiment. Esther Otusanya, Investment Research Analyst, Senior, I must add, Investment Research Analyst, Meristem Securities Limited. Many thanks once again.
Thank you for having me.